Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about a super emotional business about music schools and musical spaces. I've got this special microphone, even though I'm not a vocalist. I took it specifically so you could feel the vibe of our kind of school. I'm the founder of the Music Space Music School for Children and Adults, which has already become our own international community. So today I'm going to tell you about music schools. That's how it's going to be. So hit the like button and, as they say, ring the bell. I'd like to take a moment to talk about a business that can be thoughtfully built on such a socially favorable platform. You could even say that when people come, learn, and relax, especially now in this new and evolving era, Yes, it's a new generation now where everyone wants to live joyfully, be happy, and not stress out. And that's exactly what our school is about. We have a network of international schools called Music Space. And this is a separate business that you can purchase from us. And together with you, we'll help you open it in any country in the world. We offer a franchise. We're looking for partners who would also be interested in this whole story. First of all, let me start by saying that if you think a music school isn't about business, I'm about to dispel that doubt for you. If you ask the people around you, you'll find that almost everyone, every second or third person at least, attended a music school as a child. 80, maybe 70% of people definitely went to music school. Probably the biggest problem with all the public music schools right now is that, well, there are mostly elderly ladies or people like that working there. They teach using some really outdated methods. So it's really important now that we use new technologies. For example, every classroom has a TV and its own curriculum. And all the programs are based on game mechanics because you can see for yourself with your own kids that nowadays everyone wants to play on a tablet or phone, watch TikToks and so on. But obviously, all of that is a waste of time. So parents want to distract their children from that box they're always watching. So even though they want it all to be beneficial. And that's exactly what our methodology, our program offers. It allows this habit, let's say, of sitting on the phone to actually become useful. That's why when a child comes in, they're interested, they're making music, playing the drums, the piano, or even the guitar. Because these game mechanics are built in, it becomes interesting for them, and that's why they rush over here. They hurry to make it to every lesson. So the kids who come to us, as I said, have been studying for 2 years because it's fun and cool. If we're talking about very little kids, then these lessons can be led by, I don't know, Minions, or now there's the new Slavuta theme, or someone else. So it's always fun and entertaining. Even a lesson like, for example, solfeggio. I meet with a lot of musicians, and the main question is, how do you make solfeggio not boring? Because it's extremely boring to just talk about notes, durations, and so on. But we've made it as fun as possible. For example, every Saturday we hold group solfeggio classes. And people just rush to attend. Some even come from other schools so that someone can explain this boring subject, solfeggio, to them in a way that's not boring. It's really cool. And now I guess we'll wrap up this part. And I hope you've gotten the impression of who your target audience is, who comes to your lessons. Basically, it's almost every second or third person, both adults and children. So it's very popular and in high demand right now for everyone.
My name is Slavogu. I've been doing this in parallel for a couple of years now, I think. But with a long break, so I had to start learning all over again. And when I moved here, I ended up taking up drums. I've always wanted to try playing the drums, and suddenly I did, and just like that, bam, I liked it. So I recommend it to everyone, if anyone wants to start. And if you're waiting for something for some reason, don't wait, go sign up. The advantages at the school are that I've already completed a course, you could say, and then before a concert, when you're practicing a song, you come to rehearsal, like I did just now, and try to play something on your own. For practice, well, you clearly won't buy your own drum kit at home. You come here and rehearse. Everything's good. Before this, I studied in Minsk. My practice there was pretty inconsistent. Here, the approach is more pedagogical. So no matter what your level of knowledge or skill is, whether it's your first, second, or third time, however it works out for you, you can come here and they'll immediately assess and understand what kind of approach you need to continue learning.
My name is Alexandra, and I manage the music school in Batumi. We've been operating for almost a year and a half now, and during this time, we've had all kinds of people come to us. Mothers with many children come here to take a break from their daily routine. Psychologists come to recharge themselves. And some people just come to have an interesting and fun time. People of all ages come to us. Children, teenagers, adults, and seniors. Our audience is very large. We have people coming to us with no experience at all, who are afraid to start something new or try something different. But after the trial lesson, they leave with shining eyes and newfound confidence in themselves. Our teachers work to help reveal their talent and demonstrate that everyone truly can express themselves through music.
We carefully determined in each country where to collect these applications from. In some countries, in some places TikTok works well, in others it's Instagram, and in some it's Facebook. And now, with more than 2 years of experience, yes, we've figured out which channel works best in each country, whether it's in Europe, Latin America, or the Middle East. And if you decide to open a school, we will definitely select the source where applications will come from at the lowest cost. And accordingly, we handle this ourselves. We have dedicated contractors who take care of it, so you don't need to worry about getting applications. Given that our training is as engaging as possible, our customers tend to make long-term purchases. That is, a person doesn't just buy for 1 month or 1 lesson, they purchase right away for 6 months or even a year. By the way, we've even introduced subscriptions, annual ones, so a person buys it and continues attending for a whole year. And this gives a sense of confidence, as if the person has enrolled in a university or a traditional school. And we know that from September to May, every year they'll keep coming to us. And that's probably a separate kind of pleasant piece of news for you. So what else should I talk about? This part is us, right? We'll cut it out. Many people who run a business probably have this situation now, where there are 30, let's say proli, there 90% of businesses close down in Russia, abroad, and so on. That's the kind of statistics we're dealing with. And so if I start a business, what should I do if we end up closing, and so on? Let me put it this way, look. First of all, education is growing every year. If you look globally, about 21 to 22% worldwide, the number of educational organizations is increasing. That is, more and more people want to learn, to study, to acquire new skills. So, when you open a school, whether it's an educational school, a music school, or even a kindergarten, you can be sure that this is a business for the long term. If you open it, then later on you can, first of all, sell it to someone, because people get used to coming to this place, and they'll keep coming for a long time. As long as it exists, more and more people will keep coming. So, from a business perspective, besides the fact that it's environmentally friendly and pleasant, you'll have a lot of people there. It's important to note that this business is really for the long term. The longer you exist, the longer people will keep coming to you. But of course, you can open a business, a kindergarten, a school, or something else. Let's say another niche in the field of education. But look, when I was thinking about opening, for example, or when my acquaintances were considering opening a kindergarten, for instance, the financial model is the same. That is, you will most likely earn about the same. But the responsibility you bear as a business owner is significantly higher because you have little children coming in each and every day, and there is increased responsibility for them. You feed them, they spend the whole day with you. And when we talk about a leisure business, for example, a music school, the parents bring their child to you for an hour, and in fact, the teacher often works with them and then leaves. That's why it's an extra guarantee that this is a truly safe, sustainable business you can run for a long time without worrying that something might happen. In reality, you don't need to be some kind of super entrepreneur. It's actually a pretty simple business, where you have 2 administrators working in shifts of 2 days on, 2 days off. There are musicians. All the musicians are such positive, great people. We have musicians working with us who are very famous, who fly to America and Japan for big concerts, and they just work as teachers. Why do they work here? Because everyone has this need to share their knowledge. They've already reached a certain level and continue to perform at concerts. And naturally, they really enjoy it. They set aside 2 or 3 days a week, for example, to come in and teach some musical instrument. This is important because these people know how to get on the big stage, how to perform, and what it takes to do so. And that's why, in addition to the fact that if a child or even an adult wants to perform somewhere, these teachers, specifically those who are currently performing, have already been through it. From a simple music school all the way to the big stage. They know how to guide you so that in the future, or maybe even now, you can start performing. It's also very popular to record some videos for YouTube, to learn how to present yourself and how to create your own personal brand in order to perform. And this is one of the most important, let's say, combinations, that almost all, the majority of the teachers are performing musicians. You might have a question like, where am I? What if in your country where maybe there are few or none of them? In reality, there are a lot of musicians. We have certain methodologies for hiring musicians, negotiating with them, and finding them. And accordingly, those who work with us, we share this methodology with them.
My name is Andre, and I am a guitar teacher at Music Space Space. What I like first is the location, second is the atmosphere and comfort, right? The school itself is constantly developing, meaning we are always making some improvements. The walls are being painted, new things are added, a little couch appeared for visitors so it's more comfortable to sit. New instruments are being added. By the way, we just got a new guitar, an electroacoustic. That's how it is. As a guitarist and guitar teacher, I really like the wide range of guitars available. Classical, acoustic, electric guitars, ukulele, a new experience, and plus more expertise.
But on average, what I can say is that it's about $10,000 to $12,000. That's the revenue for one small school. And accordingly, starting from 3, well, usually we have about $4,000 to $5,000, but I always tell everyone from $3,000 in net profit. Let me say again what the advantage of this business is. First of all, our average ticket is high, so you don't need a lot of students to have a revenue of $10,000 to $12,000. That's the first thing. The second is a long LTV. LTV, what is that? It's the length of time a client keeps buying from you over the course of a year. For us, it's about 10 months on average. So almost the whole year, a person buys and keeps coming to your school. And third, it's high profitability. So if you compare businesses, ours is about 30%. 30 to 40? Of course, if there are schools where they earn around $20,000, then the profitability will be higher. 50%. And most importantly, probably, is what kind of investment is needed. The investment is about $25,000. If we convert all currencies to dollars, it's about that amount. That already includes marketing. And also the rent for the first and last month's wear and tear and everything else. So I would plan for that amount. Of course, if we're talking about more developed countries, right now, for example, we're in Miami, we're talking and want to open a school there. Naturally, the amount will be higher, but the earnings will also be higher because the standard of living there is higher. Everything is clear. By the way, we hold open house days. You can either come to our school where we'll show you everything and explain it all, or we do it online where you get to see the inner workings of the business and then you can make your decision. We're looking for a reliable partner who has experience in this business and who would earn money. And today we're going to take a tour of the school, one of our schools. So now we're doing a tour of our awesome school, one of them. Here we have the reception area. By the way, I specifically brought a pointer so we can show you everything. Alright, let's move on. Every school is different, of course. This one has a very artistic vibe. Let's go over there. Here is the vocal classroom. By the way, I'll even tell you now what we have included here. Every classroom is equipped. It has a TV, a piano, a guitar, a TV, and a speaker. There's an improvised stage here. Let's keep going. I suggest we first go into this room. There are some shared rooms where there's also, well, a TV, a speaker, drums, a piano, and a guitar. Sometimes classes are held in this format. For example, a group of teenagers might get together and they rehearse a song all together there. Or classes might be held there as well. Someone, for example, might go to one guitar lesson, one drum lesson, and then another on piano. And that's why there are such classrooms where absolutely all the instruments are available. And I will show you what our guitar room looks like. Right now, by the way, there's a guitar lesson going on in the red room, so let's take a look. It's totally fine. By the way, this is Andre, our guitarist. This isn't a lesson, he's just preparing for his lesson on his own. So here everything looks very guitar focused, especially this cool room with all the guitars. Everything is just as it should be. You can watch a separate video about Andre on our social media. Right now there will definitely be a piano lesson here. Here the legendary Svetlana teaches. We even call this room the Svetlana room. Let's go in now. Here we go. May we come in for a second? So we'll just come in and show you what our piano classroom looks like. Some people play on the white one, white or black. Some like the white, some like the black. So the main thing is that everyone likes it. You may have also noticed that in this modern and innovative environment, even piano lessons are now held with the assistance of a tablet device, and there's a specific, well-structured educational program that they carefully follow together with the students. Here, in this area, we have a really cool and stylish administrator's office, where you can see Natasha and Liana working together. Natasha would also say a few words to you, but not today. Today she's just really busy. Actually, you see, this school seems small, but in reality it's not that small. Here's a new classroom. Here, we need to turn on more lights. There we go. And here, as you can see, there are even 2 pianos and a TV. We even hold group lessons here, so that's how cool it all looks. There you go. And I'll show you one more classroom, just so you can get a feel for the atmosphere, you know? So you can understand what it all looks like. There you go. And here's our next classroom. By the way, we used to have a recording studio here. Now both piano and vocal lessons are taught here as well. That's what the school looks like. It's cool, it's got a great vibe. And now, the absolute coolest classroom, also the coolest one, the noisiest classroom. This is the drum room. Here's a drumstick actually. That's why I took it. This is what it looks like. I have a lesson going on here right now. Right now we're doing a little tour here, filming. The coolest classroom is also the noisiest. If you enjoyed this video, you can write to us either on Instagram, or we'll definitely link all our social media. Well, basically, it's interesting, even if you think this isn't for you at all, but you're intrigued by our vibe, or maybe you're considering starting a business, or even if you think it'll be a long time before you get into business, you can still write to us. We regularly hold open house days, as I mentioned. We'll send you all the information. Someone from our team will talk to you. Our manager will reach out. I'll talk to you. We'll explain everything in detail. You can take a look, calculate things for your city or country. How much you could earn there, whether you'd be able to organize it, all of that. And after that, you can make your own decision. So be sure to write to us. For more detailed information, I'll send you a presentation, a film model, and there are a lot of other interesting files as well. And yeah, in short, like, hit the bell, give us a like, because honestly, we're doing a really good thing here. And the most important thing is that when adults or children perform at a concert, when they learn, I'm telling you sincerely, people cry and it's tears of joy, very emotional. Later, they send nice messages and lots of feedback. So be sure to subscribe and follow us. We'll do everything for you.